Disclaimer. Touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Make sure you get everything like you want it.
Well, good evening, everyone. We are coming at you live from Sonoma, the road course in California. And it's time for some Tuesday night trucking. USA trucks on the West Coast here. We've seen a lot of these two in the last couple races. The Trevor show. It's crazy how we have so many. You got the Kyle and Kyle show, and you got, I'm sure there's been a Ryan and Ryan show, and now you can add to that list the Trevor and Trevor show. Dale and Dale even, yeah, Dale Earnhardt and Dale Jarrett. So Trevor and Trevor starting on the front row. Most of the wins this season have been tied up by the two of them. But maybe there could be a chance we might see someone new win here tonight, especially since it's a road course. Oh, wait 1 minute here, actually. As I back out, I need to disable cautions for the track. It's going to add an extra wrinkle to the race here that might really make for an exciting finish if someone that gets into an accident isn't able to get back with the field. So it might really mess with things here. It's all in a plan to try and expedite these races to keep them at a quicker pace, especially on the road courses, where we might have a single wreck that doesn't necessitate a full course caution. And same two people on the front row, so didn't have to worry too much about that changing. Different paint scheme this time for Trevor Vaden, piloting the Coca-Cola truck in honor of his dad. Right behind them, you've got Chris Harvey and Brian DeBlanc, Noah Hobson and Zach Magoon, Kat Durham and Kyler Sestre, Lynn Farrell and John Hagan. Switching car numbers over to 81 here. And you've got Spinham Walker and Joe Hill, Anheuser Walkner and Alex Sanvital, Paul Ladino and Dave Steele Jr., Braden Hunt and Monty Shangle, Adam Cruz and Adam Starr, Matthew Fastnot and Krista Cower, Rich Roy and Jonah Burridge, Jack Davis and Craig Popchris, Roach and Alan Chavot, Rand Kataz alongside Gavin Legend, Matthew Huber and Chase Kovacic, Jacob Shangle and Luis Rodriguez, Chasey Plays and Jamison Thole, with Daniel Paulus and Lucas Holmes at the very back there. So 45 laps here around Sonoma. And so with the way that the road course setup works here, if we do get a wreck that necessitates a full course caution, we will. There's very low chance that we have that though, but if we have to, I will manually throw a caution. But otherwise, we should pretty much go caution free for the entire race, all 45 laps and 90 miles here. Coming around to the start finish line, the Trevor Brigade rolling off the front row. As they roll into turn one, this is often a dangerous area right here. The first turn in the track, we've seen a lot of chaos strike. And didn't take long at all. That would have been a full course caution, but we will keep going as the 36 of Lucas Holmes connects with the 99 of Daniel Paulus. Just lawn darts himself into the 99 there. So only 2 trucks look to be completely out of the race here, and we continue on at the front of the field. Trevor Walker closes the door on Trevor Vaden. Chris Harvey making a bold move on the inside here. Chris Harvey didn't want to settle for another runner-up finish here. He wants to fight for the win today. Now 45 laps is going to be pretty quick. I imagine at least one round of pit stops here at Sonoma. Of course, there ain't going to be a caution, so it will become a strategy game for these guys as to when to pit. It really does change the whole gameplay of this race here tonight. It's going to be who makes the right call on when they pit and how the pit stops are handled as to where they're going to return on track later in this race when they do make those green flag pit stops. Two retirements, those two still on track on pit road, but they will retire with that kind of damage. So Trevor Walker continuing to stretch that gap out at front just a little bit. Trevor Vaden solidly in second there. Chris Harvey third. Brian DeBlanc, a great road course runner, sitting in the top 5, hoping to give Volkswagen a great run here tonight. Then you've got the other LFG Motorsports teammate to Chris Harvey running there in 5th, Noah Hobson. Zach Magoon has been a surprise, kind of consistent driver that no one anticipated to have this good of a start to the season. But there he is running 6th, and because of his great start to the season, he sits pretty well in the points right now. Sitting in 12th in the points, it's very solid for a rookie in his first year of action here in the USA Trucks. He's just sitting behind the likes of Kyler Sustre, Braden Hunt, and Spinham Walker, but he's also doing better than the likes of Krista Cower, who's been hard at it as a veteran here in the series, and even the likes of Adam Starr, who's been at it for quite a while too. So rookie campaign and putting together some solid races here in that 51 Gulf Oil truck. Trevor Walker still out there with a solid lead. Let's go through from the back of the field here and see those that are still running. 36th belongs to Chasey Plays. In front of him, you got Luis Rodriguez, Jacob Shangle, Jamison Thole, Gavin Legend, Chase Kovacic, Matthew Hubert, Alan Chavot running 29th, Rand Kataz, Craig Popgris, Roach, Jack Davis, Krista Cower, Jonah Burge in 23rd, Matthew Fastnot in 22nd, Adam Starr right there in front of him, Rich Roy, Monty Shangle, Dave Steele Jr. running in 18th, Adam Cruz, Braden Hunt, Paul Ladino, Alex Sanvital, Joe Hill, who's also been a very hot rookie this season, surprising many with his opening campaign here in the USA Trucks West. In front of him is Anheuser Walkner, John Hagan, Lynn Farrell, Spinham Walker, Kat Durham, Kyler Sustre, Zach Magoon running 6th, and your top 5 with Noah Hobson, Brian DeBlank, Chris Harvey, Trevor Vaden, and Trevor Walker. So far, 5 laps into the 45-lap event here tonight. And fastest lap does belong to our race leader of Trevor Walker there. He's been able to put down a 117.8. And let's put in perspective what that looks like compared to his teammate who also put in a 117.8. Got to look at the next decimal in the number, 117.83 to a 117.89. So both Trevors putting down some fast laps here early at Sonoma. Howdy, Al. Welcome to the stream. As for your team, I don't think Toyota's got one in this, or at least TRD doesn't. If there's anyone to root for, I guess, you might root for the other Toyotas on track, like some Matthew Fastnot, or... Wow, there's not many Toyotas. You got Chasey Plays at the very back, and then the Trevor Brigade at the front, both Toyotas there. For the most part, Atlee has confirmed that there is a Jap Car Alliance, so even Hondas, Subarus are kind of teammates with all the Toyotas out there. So it's interesting how we've got Jaguar that's got it all figured out in the Cup Series. Toyota seems to have it figured out here in the trucks, and it's really a mixed bag with the Bridge to Cup, as there's so many different manufacturers contesting in Bridge to Cup. It is pretty interesting seeing Sonoma under the lights here. Most of the NASCAR races that we actually see hosted here during the day. So it's kind of a welcome sight to see a road course under the lights here. Something that NASCAR does not really do. They've got the capabilities. Thinking about it, you could almost do the Daytona road course. Like the 24-hour track, they do 24-hour races, and you could run NASCAR under the lights at the Daytona road course, which would be kind of cool. And so just like in where we have Talladega, we have a night version of Talladega, which doesn't exist in real life because Talladega doesn't have lights. So the day that came, if that ever comes, that would be insanely awesome if they could hold their second Talladega race at night like they do the Daytona, the later August race for the what was the Firecracker 400. Well, it looks like the gap's staying pretty much the same between the two Trevors at the front of the field here. A 1:18.0 to a 1:17.9, so Walker really putting in some fast laps even still after the tires start to wear down a little bit. Those of you that tuned in after the start of the race, you only missed one wreck so far. It was a pile-up going into turn 1 that included the 36 and the 99. And with our road course races, we don't have cautions automatically enabled. So the race continued on as the game sorted itself out, and we will only initiate a caution if desperately need to. See, honestly, that would probably be a grand idea for road course racing to have, in at least in NR2003, to do stage breaks so that people, and at random, so that they don't, plan their strategy or something. If you had a preset period where there was going to be a caution, everyone would work around that as a strategy. But if it was random, then you never know. You might surprise everyone and pit somewhere where the other people aren't pitting, and that random stage caution comes out and you come out smelling like roses. So I don't know, something to ponder maybe. It would be kind of cool if I decided to do something like that. I could roll a dice before the race, and even those that are watching the broadcast might not know when that stage caution is coming, and it gives us a chance to get them racked back up, double file for chaotic restarts, as we always usually do at Sonoma here. But for today, we will just, if there's a mechanical failure, we will use that as a reason to possibly throw a caution for oil down on track. But for next time, I'm thinking that might be a good idea to toy with, is totally random stage breaks that no one knows when that stage is going to come, except for me. And it could add for some exciting racing, exciting restarts, especially on these road courses. Still in the process, I've been mentioning it lately that I want to change it up with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Cup race. And those of you that are watching, that are in the trucks and maybe Bridge to Cup, it's getting to the point where we'll have open sign-ups so that you can sign up to race in the Cup car for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame event later in the year. We will start at least expanding the field. What we did last year, we had a pair of heats and an LCQ to determine the rest of the field lineup for the main event. And ultimately, my main goal for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame race is to make it the single largest event on my YouTube channel each year. So it's one of those things where anyone is eligible. Obviously, if you're not a Cup regular, it's going to be a little bit harder to get into the event, since the top 35 will be locked into points. You'll have to race your way in. No way. So I was giving credit to Magoon for having such a great start to the season, and he gets clipped by the 26 of Jamison Thole coming off pit road. And he's going to drop from 6th way out of the top 10 here after he gets back on track. 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd. He rejoins the track in about 23rd there. I don't know what got into Jamison Thole there for coming out of pit road at such a bad part of the track. He's 9 laps down, so he was the one involved in the early first lap wreck. Seems like they got it fixed and want to try to get some more spots where they can. Really messed up what was looking to be a good race for the 51. So really everyone moves up a spot here, as Hagan should be now into the top 10. Lynn Farrell up to 9th. Spinham Walker up to 8th. Kat Durham up to 7th. And what Kyler Sestre will be into 6th now. Top 5 remains unchanged here. And lead still continuing to grow for Trevor Walker. Jamison Thole, who's... Okay, so the 36 is retired. Yeah, so the 26 must not have been involved in that. I misspoke. Still weird how he exits pit road and takes out a contender in the top 10. That's Yep, and that forces the hand for Zach Magoon to pit early here. He gets off strategy due in part to making collision with the 26 car. Possibly doing a little bit of repairs on that car as well. Alan Chavot holding in solidly in 28th place. Oh, and we might see retaliation here. We see quite blatant retaliation from the 51. That can't get any more perfect. There was some beef, and it was settled here tonight. He timed his pit stop perfectly, folks. As you see, he rejoins the track here. We'll have a second angle on this one. Holy cow, man. Retaliation served a la mode. Comes in and bam, clips the guy that took him out earlier. Jamison Thole got his comeuppance. Well, if you're just tuning in, Chris, you watched as there was retaliation. That was full-blown retaliation from what happened a lap earlier in the race. 26 of Jamison Thole coming off pit road. Makes contact here with the 51 of Magoon, who is running in the top 10, running 6th actually. And quite just a terrible exit there from the 26, taking a contending win away from the 51. But just give it one lap later and Magoon exits pit road. One minute later. Look at, he timed it perfectly. He even waited on pit road. He knew exactly, had his spotter given him the call there. And thanks to him and his spotter, he was able to find exactly where that 26 was on track and pay him back for what he did. That is one of the single coolest moments we've had here in the USA Trucks series. That's a shorts-worthy kind of a moment there. So with all that drama in the back, it's still Trevor 1-2, Chris Harvey in 3rd. Zach Magoon with fresh Goodyears, possibly trying to move through the field or struggling with damage on that truck. I don't know. Not looking like he's putting in fast laps as he's gone a lap down here. It's a bummer for Zach Magoon. What looked to be a good race going here today. Just unfortunate circumstances that he had no control over. LFG Motorsports solidly running both trucks in the top 5. As the points stand right now, Trevor Walker leads over Brian DeBlanc. So DeBlanc has been putting together a good campaign early here. Third in the points is Matthew Fastnot. Fourth is Chris Harvey. So 3 of your 4 all in the top 4. Matthew Fastnot and Joe Hill are a little bit off the pace here today. Let's see where Fastnot is if we scroll through the field here. Ouch. Matthew Fastnot currently midfield in 21st. Joe Hill's a little bit further in front of him there, I thought. Yep, currently 12th. So Joe Hill trying to minimize the points damage here today. Nope, some more pit stops as it looks to be Alan Chavot making his pit stop here on lap 15. This could potentially be the one and only stop needed to make it through the race. Let's see how he does rejoining the track here. Gonna do just fine, it seems. John Hagan catches him at the wrong time there, but it didn't look like we had a repeat of Jamison Thole rejoining the track there. So it's really going to be keeping an eye on those pit stops and seeing how things get shook up here. Trevor Walker could get off to a ginormous lead, but all it takes is one bad pit stop to really lose ground. Pit strategies too might be someone could just take gas and forget about tires. So much of this is so alike with our Cup Championship battle so far, as you've got Kellen Relic and Al Bunch just stinking up the show in Cup. The Trucks West has been highly the Trevor Walker, Trevor Vaden, Trevor Ventures show. And so far the Trucks East and Bridge to Cup have really only been the ones that are super unpredictable so far. Bridge to Cup, we've seen some surprise winners early in the season. And Trucks East has really given us some good moments this year with some great racing action and kind of a variation of winners throughout the field, as you've seen Jordan Walker, Chaz Chadwick, and even the surprise James Gunner getting a win in the Eastern Division. However, the West Coast is a lot less exciting, but not boring, just kind of dominated by a couple drivers, as Trevor Vaden has 2 wins so far. Trevor Walker has 1. Evidently, the way things are going tonight, Walker feels like it's his turn to win, as Vaden was able to win back-to-back races. Bossman has a good truck here today at Sonoma. That Under Armour badge on the windshield will turn into Sigma next year. I'm sure many of you have followed pretty closely on the Discord with the evolution of our series, trying to separate ourselves from actual corporate names, since I'm not affiliated in any direct way with Under Armour. But what that'll do, it'll allow us to maybe do some neat, maybe some merchandise, you know, maybe do a Sigma t-shirt or a Sigma hat, maybe a Sigma sticker. And I'm not sure where that lies at the moment, so don't get your hopes up too much on those merchandise ideas. But if I have the time and I'm willing to get stuff like that put together, you can definitely expect something like that in the future. Having a new brand name like Sigma should allow me to actually, you know, have my own logo that is mine to use, mine to, you know, make merchandise of. So obviously it'd still be hard to do something like that with our sponsors that the trucks and stuff have. So a lot of the merchandise would be generic, but it would still be customized. I would find a way to make a custom spin on it so that it's Trevor Walker or Chris Harvey, Brian DeBlanc, and all that kind of stuff. Yesterday's Cup race was pretty exciting, where we hit Watkins Glen, and all but 2 laps were led by Al Bunch yesterday. We're starting to see a trend with these road courses, as every lap so far tonight has been led by Trevor Walker, and we're just about halfway through this one. 21 laps in, 23, 24 laps to go. So this will be the point in time where you got to start deciding, when do you want to make your one and only pit stop here in the race? Do you want to undercut, pit early, and try to get the good of the fresh tires first? Or do you want to stretch it a little bit longer and force the other people to pit, so that when you come back out, you've got fresher tires than what they've got? It's often the strategy that's always contemplated when you come to a road course. Who wants to pit first and who wants to stay out longer? One thing for Trevor Walker here, he knows that no matter when he pits, he's got such a lead here that he could pit just about any time in this race and still find his way to the front of the field. This continues to be one of the closer battles in the field here, as Noah Hobson, Brian DeBlanc, and Kyler Sustre all fighting for position here. What's even more impressive is the fact that it's Volkswagen versus Honda versus Dodge in this 3-truck battle in 4th, 5th place. Got to give credit to Cat Durham for moving through the field here, it seems. I want to say he started a lot further back than where he's running right now. We look, Cat Durham qualified 7th, so I'm mistaken. Still, good run for him. The hard charger is going to be hard to get at these road courses, it seems, because the running order has remained unchanged from our qualifying positions. Apart from Kyler Sestre moving up 2 spots, due in part also to Zach Magoon getting blasted out of 6th place. John Hagan has remained in 10th. Yeah, there you go, 10th. So not a whole lot of movement, which is to be expected at a road course. Now halfway through the race, and this will be about the time where we start seeing more takers down pit road. Still no significant mechanical failures from any of the trucks out there. Mechanical failure would be one of the few things that would warrant a full field caution to clean up any oil spill, perhaps. Alan Chavot had already pitted, running 34th, 1 lap down. This might be a strategy, or it just might be what he needed to do to get to the finish of this one. We'll have to see how it all shakes out for him. .119.2 to a 119.3, so these two trucks still running pretty consistent to each other. But Trevor Walker just a tad bit faster in the 21. Okay, we got another taker down pit road. Pit road is going to be one of the highlight points to watch here, as we've seen so much commotion coming off of pit road so far. As long as these drivers are clean on exit, we shouldn't have any more pandemonium. But that's why we got our camera rolling on the 07 here to see how he does on pit road exit. 21 of Trevor Walker is catching up to him. Trevor Walker slowed down, I think, so that he didn't have to catch right up to the 07 as he was exiting pit road. Just running so smoothly out there in the lead. Trevor Walker has not really had to do much more than cruise out front of the field here. 20 laps to go. It's really any time now you might as well be able to make your one and only pit stop in the race here. I think one of the key strategies here will be not try to pit with everyone. At least the field is pretty well spread out, so if you pit, the rest of the field's going to come onto pit road a lot later throughout the lap. We're going to skim and see who else might be committing to pit road. Top 3 continue to stay out. As well as your top 10 continuing to stay out here. Well, maybe Hagan. Nope, Hagan's staying out. 95 though of Anheuser-Wagner from 11th. It's one of the highest in the running order, actually making their first pit stop here. 93 of Alex Sanvital also pitting right behind the 95. And the 69 of Braden Hunt. 05 Adam Cruz. 35 of Dave Steele Jr. Looks like Matthew Fastnot further in the background there. So green flag pit stops, obviously, as we won't have any preset cautions here at the racetrack. '95 gonna cruise back out, and I think this could be potentially danger zone for Trevor Walker if he doesn't make his pit stop soon. But it looks like, yeah, this might be where we want to watch for now, because everyone coming off pit road as he's catching up to pit road. Yet again, clean as clean can be. Everyone else rejoined the track right in front of Trevor Walker, just barely. Some of our top runners now, as you've got Kyler Sestre and Noah Hobson pitting. Lynn Farrell also was up into the top 10. That's kind of trippy, as the tires were still locked in under the fenders there. Graphical glitch. Ooh, that's a hard bump to Noah Hobson. 27 did not want to wait behind the 15 as he gave him a rough bump. Wow, Trevor Walker still staying out. See, this is getting into the danger zone. The longer he stays out, he's giving up 2 seconds right now to those that pitted. Those that pitted in front of him should have, 118.7 for the likes of Jonah Burridge, who just now made his second lap on pit exit. So he just gained a second on the leader. A lot of them still pretty slow in comparison to Trevor Walker. But when you're talking even 1 or 2 seconds, that's a huge difference on road courses here. Especially when Trevor Walker on his outlap's going to have to give up a slow lap. But everyone has to give up a slow lap on cold tires, so that's kind of not even considered. Staying out again. Wow. His teammate Trevor Vaden stays out. Chris Harvey could make a bold move here, but he stays out. As well as the 85. Now up to 5th is Kat Durham. The 7 of Spinham Walker pitting. Hagan's going to crack the top 5 here shortly. See, this is interesting for Alan Chavot, who made his one pit stop way early. What looked like a 28th run for him might turn into about a top 25, maybe even at the most possible position of maybe a top 20 if he gets really lucky. $119.785. Matthew Fastnot turned a 118.759, his fastest lap of the race on fresh tires here. He is getting held up by the likes of Gavin Legend, though, who is a much slower truck. And Trevor Walker's staying out yet again. So this strategy could be detrimental, could be disruptive to the overall lead that he's established here. And then again, is he considering just coming down for gas and not going for tires, which in its own could be a very difficult call to make as well. See, I'm liking the likes there of Anheuser-Wagner and Alex Sanvital, where they pitted at what time they did. They're able to get the advantage of these fresher tires against the leader on older tires turning slow laps. Jack Davis. Okay, so there we go. Harvey finally pitted. With Harvey pitting, that really starts to push the envelope for the two Trevors at the front of the field. He's got to make his pit stop. He's got to. There we go. Okay, now we're going to see exactly what kind of disadvantage this puts the two Trevors at. Obviously, they're going to have one hell of a pit stop here to minimize losing more momentum. They do have the advantage of having the front pit stalls here from their qualifying. But I would not be surprised if we see the likes of Alex Sanvital or even Anheuser-Wagner up into the top 10, maybe even the top 5, fighting for good positions here at the end. 4 tires should be the call here for these two, and that is correct. They're going to be rejoining the track here. It looks like they're taking a little bit longer to fill up. Trevor Walker's taking quite a while to fill up the truck, and he's going to get beat off by his teammate, the 20 of Trevor Vaden. Man, what a crazy turn of events here. Bad pit stop for the boss man. Trevor Vaden sitting on 2 wins in a row. Now takes the lead away from the boss. And look at that. Chris Harvey so much closer to the tail end of the 21 truck here. This is going to be a very slow lap for Trevor Walker as those tires get warmed up. Chris Harvey going to be able to take advantage of having the fresher tires here. And he's going to, look at that, he's going to really close the gap to the 21 in front of him. This could be a very huge move of the race if he can pull it off here. Fresh tire difference very noticeable as he's caught up to Trevor Walker. What he wishes this would have been a fight for the lead, but it's actually a fight for second. Look at this. Watch how much quicker those fresh tires are. Fresh Goodyears, 4 pairs, basically like makes you feel like Superman. Chris Harvey up to second now, and LFG Motorsports right there with his teammate behind him. Trevor gonna fight back though. Walker takes second back, but the fight very much alive here for the win. We know just how fast that 21 truck is. Is Trevor Vaden going to be able to hold off the boss man? Wow, even on his slow lap, he was a 2 flat. That's man, Trevor Vaden's slow lap was a 152. So Walker really did lose 8 seconds on pit stops there, which is crazy. DeBlanc loses some ground from his pit stops. Lynn Farrell in 7th, Kat Durham in 9th. What about that? Anheuser-Wagner into the top 10. I said he was going to be fighting for a top 10 based on that strategy call they made, as well as Alex Sanvital. So those two bold moves going to pay off here in the long run. Noah Hobson giving Chris Harvey a little bit of extra competition there behind him. Chadwick's just hoping that his two teammates kind of settle in here and try to divide and conquer the two Trevors at the front. Harvey was able to get by Trevor there for just a brief moment, but now you're going to start seeing the tire advantage from the Walker Vaden pit stops. Since they pitted one lap later than Harvey and Hobson, you're going to start seeing the fall off here from the 12. A lot more significant than the fall off from the 21 and the 20. Wow, Vaden looking like a brand new man out there, leading the way. A 1:18.1 compared that up to a 1:17.9. So Walker really does have the faster truck here. And we're going to be really close to the 1 hour mark for the finish of this race, which is exactly where I tried to set these truck races to run at 1 hour bite-sized chunks. Going to be 10 laps to go this time by, and I still don't know if it's going to be Vaden or Walker that gets the job done here tonight. Does look like we might have a little bit of lap traffic to deal with here late in the running of this one. Not a lot for drama after the fact here. The 51 really looks like his day was hurt the most due to the chaos ensuing between him and Jamison Thole. What the heck's going on here? Hagen having a problem. Mechanical failure, flat tire. So Hagen, what looked like not a bad day, but not a great day, just gets a little bit worse here as the 81 suffers a tire puncture. He has to ride the whole distance of the track with that flat tire. Had to. Wow, he right when he got across start finish line is where it came out, it looked like. But not a mechanical failure in the engine department, so we continue green, no caution. Will be a case-by-case basis here, whether or not I throw a caution. And if so, I might have to enable green-white checkers for a last lap restart, but the only way it will happen is if we have an engine failure. Hagan's going to rejoin the track here after getting that tire repaired. And this is the danger zone. We've seen it happen once tonight, twice actually. Hagan rejoins the track just fine. Half the race has been led by Trevor Walker, and now the second half of the race so far has been led by Trevor Vaden. But here we have the battle brewing for the lead as Trevor Walker has now caught up to Trevor Vaden. 20 versus the 21 here. They're getting by the lap traffic of Gavin Legend. Really flying around the road course here in Sonoma. This time by, it'll be 7 laps to go. Man, this used to be what we would see last year with the Courting brothers. And there are Walker brothers, obviously, as part of this team. They're split between the East and the West, where Trevor Walker is here tonight, and Jordan Walker will be with the East Coast next week. Gavin Legend really kind of throwing a curveball here, holding up Walker. I think he's going to get the move made going down the hill here. It's always exciting to watch him drive through the hill there at Sonoma. And Vaden not out of the woods as he's now caught up to even more lap traffic. He's going to have to earn it here tonight, as it's only going to get harder and harder the more he goes. This all materialized after Trevor Walker had a terrible pit stop, and I mean terrible. It must have took a little bit longer to get the fuel to actually fuel up in the 21 truck, as he stayed on pit road for a good 3 seconds longer than Trevor Vaden. Vaden was able to inherit the lead from his faster team owner there. What this lap traffic does help is it kind of helps Chris Harvey get back into the mix. If Harvey can get by the 89 there, he could start using this lap traffic as an advantage to close the gap. He's going to have to get by that 89 really quickly here, though. The longer he gets stuck behind one of the lappers, the worse off he'll be at getting into the mix for the win here. He knows what he's got to do. He's going to try to upset that 89 truck just enough to get alongside of him. Great run from Chris Harvey here tonight. He's definitely hoping for 2 spots better here by the end of it. Look at that. We are very tight at the front of the field, as lap traffic has given a glimpse of hope to a couple drivers here. Trevor Vaden really getting held up. That 26 has messed with a couple drivers running for the win tonight. Just ask the 51 earlier who got sideswiped by the 26. The 51 exacted his revenge on the 26 as we saw direct retaliation. Hopefully the 26 gets out of the way here and allows for these guys to race for the win. Whoa, Walker goes low. He's going to try to take a jab at the lead here. Side by side, but Vaden with the preferred line there going into the S's. Keeps the lead, and now he's got to figure out a way to get around Kovacic. 5 laps remaining. Kovacic, he's going to do the over-under. Good old okie dokie. Try to make a move on the inside. Fake left and steer right. There we go. Vaden's starting to have some clear track out in front of him. As we're starting to see that separation again from third on back. But it's never ending here at the front because you still got more lap traffic to deal with. Alan Chavot 27th, Chasey Plays 28th, and Luis Rodriguez 29th. So 29 trucks left on the lead lap here as Trevor Vaden is caught up to the back bumper of the 29th position driver out there. And now finding the right opportunity to make the pass. Seems like the last 2 turns at the track has been prime location to do it. Doesn't lose near as much speed going through this technical part of the track, but goes high, fakes high, goes low. This time not able to execute that move as Trevor Walker really closes the gap again. And Chris Harvey finally by the 26, but he's got quite a gap to close as well as he lost about 3 seconds on that lap. 3 laps to go. Ooh, this is dangerous for Vaden. Getting stuck alongside lap traffic as Walker tries, but settles in right behind him again. Chris Harvey giving it all he's got back there. You can see him dirt track it going into the hill area there. S's yet again. And it seems like after Alan Chavot, things will get a little bit easier for these leaders, as not nearly as much lap traffic to deal with. But there's still 2 of them in front. And now you got lap traffic racing with each other as the 49 goes by the 97. That doesn't do any good for the 20. Now as they want to try to push it 3 wide, Vaden might think better of doing this. You don't want to go 3 wide and wreck it with 2 lap trucks. 43 of 45 laps. Chris Harvey needs a little bit of a miracle here to get back into this one. They're not going to get the job done here on Alan Chavot. Vaden makes a strong push and Chavot still holds on right in front of him. Oh, wow, that was a hard wreck there. I don't want to leave the front of the field, but something happened to Kovacic there. Try to get a quick replay. Maybe the 12 just took the air. He panicked. I think he knew that the 12 of Harvey was right there behind him. Might have been the only blessing there for the 12 truck to try and get back into this. Still got 2 more trucks to get by before he can fight for the win here. There, Vaden's gonna go underneath the 49 here. Lap 44 of 45. Vaden, oh, and not enough. This really is slowing up our leaders. Let's see if the AI of Luis Rodriguez panics with the 12 behind him here. Chris Harvey is instilling the fear in the lap traffic. There we go, Harvey making a bold move. 48 doesn't do much about it, and he got loose there as well. So Harvey driving like a man possessed for a win. He's going to have to get by the 97, and there was a lead change during this lap. I missed it. We'll fast forward and see exactly how that panned out. Right down the hill zone. Oh, wow, down the hill zone. But Walker's still struggling to get by the 49 as well. Here comes Harvey. Harvey with a bold move on the inside of Chavot. And so now it really has turned into a 3-truck fight as the white flag waves in the air. Harvey has a long shot, but still very much a shot at winning it here tonight. Oh, Vaden's going to go high. The 51 is going to get into the radar of this lead traffic. Vaden might pull the same move that his boss just pulled on him, going down the hill here. Walker makes the move on plays and is going to be able to finally get by the 49. Man, it's just going to be too little too late for the 12 truck. He's right there in the mix at the end of this one. Very, very exciting battle. Trevor Walker has found himself back in the lead after losing it on a bad pit stop here tonight. Vaden put in a valiant effort to try and get the win here tonight. He was fighting for 3 straight here in the USA Trucks West. But alas, it is the number 21 of Trevor Walker that's going to get it done here tonight, taking the checkered flag at Sonoma. That was definitely a very spirited battle for the win here tonight. Coming home in second is Trevor Vaden. Chris Harvey, man, he had a shot there, and he tried to take it. And there's going to be more opportunities for Chris Harvey to try and get to victory lane here today. Well, this year, not today, obviously. But good run for the 12 team. LFG Motorsports finished 3rd and 4th with Noah Hobson right behind him. Coming home 5th was Kyler Sustre. 6th, Brian DeBlank. 7th, Lynn Farrell. Spinham Walker. Kat Durham. Anheuser Wachner. Alex Sanvital. Monty Shangle with a 12th. Joe Hill coming home 14th. Braden Hunt runs out of gas on the last lap here, had finished 13th. Adam Cruz with a top 15. 16th for Dave Steele Jr. 17th for Matthew Fastnot. 18th for Jonah Burridge. 19th for Rich Roy. 20th Adam Starr and his teammate Krista Cower 21st. Jack Davis, Rand Kataz, Roach, Craig Popgris, Matthew Hubert, And that's about really where we stand on most of the field. Everyone else was laps down. Trevor Walker gets the job done for his second win here in 2024 USA Trucks competition. This one will be remembered for exciting strategy battle and even retaliation beef that we had between two of the drivers on track. Zach Magoon and the 26 of that was 26 of Jamison Thole. So we'll go ahead and get these points tallied up tonight and posted on the server. A little bit different this week since I'll be gone the weekend. We had our cup race yesterday, and trucks tonight still on schedule, and the Bridge to Cup still on schedule for the same day that they were planned. Just really only changed the cup race this week to a Monday. And now it's 4 races in and 4 races won by someone named Trevor. It seems the research and development has really paid off for Trevor Ventures to get to this point that they are now. They are the stars of the show here on the West. And in case some of you are wondering, Trevor Ventures off, obviously if you've been with the server since the beginning, is Trevor Walker. It does get kind of confusing now that I think about it, how because there's 2 Trevors, and it's obviously Trevor Walker's team and not Trevor Vaden, but you might as well put up an argument that it's both Trevor's team right now. So I'm having some trouble getting the clicker to work. There we go. Can't stop the stream if I can't click anything. But yet again, congratulations to Trevor Ventures. 4 wins and 4 races. This points battle really is going to be one-sided so far. Rest of the field might as well be counting their lucky stars that Trevor Ventures isn't a 4-truck team on the West, or else everyone would be in trouble. So, thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. Glad you could make it. It was a great race here tonight at Sonoma. And yeah, nope, that's a good way to wrap it up here tonight. Hopefully y'all have a good night. Stay safe out there, and we'll catch you on the next one. This is